Sometimes Apple Watch colors look different in real life compared to the website. So I bought every color to help you decide which one to choose. Now these colors aren't that different to last year, besides the addition of the pink, which is brand new to this year's lineup. Let's start with the Midnight. Now the Midnight Apple Watch is very understated, it's very sleek, it's very smart. This is the closest you're gonna get to black, and the reason I like this color is that the screen of the Apple Watch actually blends in with the case, so it feels like one seamless design. Also, if you have a space gray iPhone, then you can pick up a Midnight Apple Watch and you'll have like this matching color coordinated iPhone with Apple Watch. What I really like about this case is that the black doesn't pick up too much shine. It's not quite a matte finish, but it's not quite metallic either. And fingerprints don't really show up on this case. So I'm a big fan of the Midnight. I think, in my opinion, you're playing it safe with Midnight. You can't really go wrong. Next up, let's talk about the new Apple Watch color for this year, and that's pink. I would like to say it's a very subtle pink, but in some ways it also stands out. The way in which it stands out is the shine on the case of this particular Apple Watch. If you get it under the light, you can really see it pick up some of that color and really see it glow and glisten. This color is like a really beautiful pastel shade, and besides the red, I really think this is quite a standout color. Like, you're definitely gonna get attention with this. I can see this being a really popular Apple Watch shade this year. This is pink without being too pink. This is a smart pink. That's the way I'd put it. This is a smart pink Apple Watch. Next up, let's talk about the red. Now, the red Apple Watch has been an icon of the Apple Watch lineup for some years now. I think this one really pops. It's a big statement piece, and it feels shinier than both the pink and the black Apple Watches. If you're looking for a watch that grabs attention, people can't help but draw their eyes to, then this is the one to get. What I really like about getting the red Apple Watch with the red strap is you have this very seamless design where the red case almost blends into the red band, and it just feels like this one cohesive piece. It's not a vibrant red, it's a darker shade of red, which really complements the black bezels on the front of the screen. But moving on, let's talk about the silver Apple Watch. This is a really classic color, like you can't really go wrong. Because it's made from aluminium, it hasn't quite got the same shine as the stainless steel, but it's still got this really nice case that doesn't pick up fingerprints. I'm a big fan of the silver, especially with this blue band. I'm a big fan of the blue and silver. I think they complement each other really well. What I like about this silver is it reminds me of the silver finish on the MacBook Pros. It's a really nice color and it has a little bit of shine without being too shiny. Last but not least, let's talk about Starlight. Now, Starlight has been my favorite color for the last 2 or 3 years running. I love that it's a slightly warmer shade of silver. When you see it for the first time, you can't quite put your finger on it, like what color is it? It's like a silver with a hint of gold inside. In fact, when you get up close with the Starlight, you can almost see this like slight speckled finish. This particular finish definitely shines more than the silver. I can definitely see that it's a little bit more shiny, and I think that this gets a really good balance between having that really smart and sleek look, but at the same time not being too understated, having something that actually looks really nice and really does still stand out. You might already know which Apple Watch you want to get just from seeing it, but just in case you can't decide, I'm gonna try all of these watches on my wrist just to give you an idea of what these colors look like in real life, so you can really get a sense for how these look and how these feel on the wrist. You can really see the red pops out. Apple really wanted to go understated with the colors of the Apple Watch, but the red, as always, is the standout color from the crowd. The pink is really nice. It's a nice in-between from having an understated look or a very colorful look, and I think it strikes the balance really well. You can see the differences between the silver and Starlight, though it's subtle. Once you notice it, you can't unsee it. As you can see from the Midnight, it's a very sleek finish. I really like this option. So in front of me, I have the Midnight Apple Watch, the Starlight, the silver, and the Apple Watch Ultra, which comes in natural titanium. And the reason I've introduced the Apple Watch Ultra is to really describe to you and show you the difference between the color of the natural titanium versus the other two silvery shades, and then look at it side by side with the Midnight as well. So natural titanium is definitely a little bit more dull. It's almost like as if you got the exposure on a Starlight and then you brought it down by like 1 or 2 notches. In my opinion, the silver one is probably the cleanest looking one because it's the brightest. The Starlight is definitely more of a showstopper because it's a lot more shiny than the other Apple Watch colors. But there's something about the natural titanium that I also really like. It's a little bit darker and it's a little bit more muted, but it's still got this shine to it. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these 3 colors. They're all very nice. It's just a case of how bright you want the color to be. The silver is the brightest, Starlight's in the middle, and the natural titanium's at the bottom. Now, the Midnight also looks really good, and you can really just see how much contrast there is between this color and the other 3 I've just shown you. Oh, coffee is so good. Next up, let's have a look at the red and the pink. Now, these are the 2 colored Apple Watch choices this year. Now, you can see over here that the pink definitely picks up more of the shine than the red. In my opinion, it's also got more of a speckled finish, whereas the red has a much smoother, much cleaner finish. I think both of these are really nice, but my personal choice would be the pink over the red. I think the red is just a little bit too vibrant for me, but like I said earlier, if you're looking for something to stand out with, then the red is the way to go. Honestly, I can't understate how much importance I place on the color of the band and the type of band that I choose because of 2 reasons. One, if you have a comfortable band, you're more likely to wear the Apple Watch. And 2, you can completely change the look of your watch just by changing the strap. So now that you've seen the colors, how do you choose the color? And there's 2 ways of going about it. The first way is very subjective. It's just simply which color do you think looks best. And honestly, for most people, that's what you should go for. It's just a gut feeling. You want to choose a color that you'll feel very confident rocking. It's got to be an expression of you and who you are. What kind of color do you like? And that can change. Every year, I tend to consider if I would go for a different Apple Watch color. The last few years, I've gone for Starlight. But you know, this year, the silver is looking really nice as well. And when you find an Apple Watch color that's really nice, that you really like, you're also more likely to use it more because you really like the thing. And the second way of looking at this is by being a little bit more objective. So if you're still on the fence and you can't decide between a few of these Apple Watch colors, then the way I like to think about it is which Apple Watch case has lots of contrast with either my skin complexion, because I want it to stand out against my wrist, or with the band that I'm choosing, or with my outfit. At the end of the day, a watch is an accessory just as much as a pair of sunglasses are. So depending on what you do every day and what you do for work and what you would wear, you would want to adapt the watch to that. So you may well choose a midnight Apple Watch if you wanted something that was more understated, is a little more sleek, perhaps went really nicely with the suit. And if you wanted something a little bit more fun, a little bit more casual, then you go for something like pink. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the description which color Apple Watch you went for and why. Now that you've decided which color Apple Watch you want to get, you may want to see my video on which size Apple Watch to get, and I'll link that up above. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.